Welcome back to Cara's Quarantine Craft Corner. I think that's what I'm calling it now. I hope you're well. I hope everybody is staying calm and that you're having productive and happy days at home. I thought I'd do a craft today for the young and for the young at heart. This one's for the kiddos. So anybody who has been at a trivia night with me or just anywhere where there is scrap paper lying around knows that I like to make fortune tellers. Some of you may remember doing that when you were young. It was definitely a grade school craze, but I still like doing it. I do it all the time, and I like to challenge myself to make teeny ones, like smaller than you might think, requiring toothpicks to make. We're not going to do that today, although I highly encourage you to try it. It's fun. But I thought it might be fun to just teach the kiddos a little basic origami, and instead of doing like your typical fortune teller, I thought we would kind of do a positive affirmation teller or a compliment teller. So basically putting nice things, cheery thoughts, or positive affirmations, as previously mentioned. Okay, so for this craft, here's what you're gonna need. Let's get started. Okay, for those of you who were here yesterday, you'll recognize this beautiful manicure I gave myself. Look, again, it is about entertainment, not talent here. So, for today's craft, the items that you're going to need are a piece of paper. I'm using a piece of computer paper because that's what I had, but you can use something from a notebook or a piece of newspaper, whatever you'd like. I'm going to use red, green, blue, purple. The reason I picked these colors, as we'll see later, is because they all have different numbers of letters in the spelling of their name, which will make sense once we get further along. It's also helpful if you have a pen or pencil, and I'm going to be using these big scary looking scissors, but I would prefer if you ask your parents to either cut this for you or use some safety scissors if you have them. Okay, so let's get started. We're gonna take away all of our utensils. Okay, so let's get started with just our piece of paper. So we're gonna wanna have the paper lengthwise facing towards us. As you can see, this piece of paper is a rectangle, and what we want is a square. So there's two ways we could do this. We could just cut across and make a square, but here's a little secret that I'm going to show you on how to make a square. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the corner of our paper and we're going to fold it up like this. And what we want to do is match up the edge as accurately as possible. So these two lines are trying to be right on top of each other. Okay, when you think you've got it pretty close, you can press down and flatten out the crease. So now we have kind of a weird looking triangle with a little extra piece of area up here. So if you did it correctly, this is what it looks like. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're going to take this extra piece and we're going to fold it over, but only as far as the triangle. So you see that line right here? We're gonna fold our paper over that. And crease. Great. So now it looks like this. Now, here's the cool part. When you open up the triangle and then you close that extra little flap, look what we have here. We have a square, a perfect square. So what do we need to do with this piece right here? That's right, we need to cut it. All right, so I'm grabbing my scissors, and now since I've already put a crease in it, I have this beautiful little guideline already in place. So I'm gonna take my scissors and very gently, and remember, ask your parents if you're too young to be handling scissors, I'm gonna cut off this edge. Okay. Put my scissors away safely. So now we have our beautiful square and our extra little piece of paper. Now you can save this for later, but it's not going to be part of this fortune teller. So there we have it. We have our beautiful square. Ooh, ah. Okay, now since we've already created one beautiful crease, now we're going to fold our paper the opposite way to make another crease. So you're going to take one pointy end and go to the opposite diagonal pointy end and fold it like this. And what shape do we have now? A triangle! Great. Okay, now we're going to open our triangle back up. So if you can see, we now have 4 little lines here that are going to be very helpful very soon. Okay, so now that you've got your X kind of cross of lines, we're gonna take our first corner. I like to start with this one at the bottom. You can start with any, it doesn't matter. And we're gonna fold the point right into the very center of this crisscross. So, try to keep it as straight as possible, right up to the very center, and flatten that crease. Great. Now I'm going to take this one and do the exact same thing. If we did this right, these should match up pretty close. So I'm going to take that little point, bring it in. It's a little off, but you know what? Pretty good. Pretty good. And I'm going to flatten that crease. And then I'm going to do the same thing with these other 2 corners. So let's do that. And there you go. You have all 4 of your corners folded into the middle. And what have we made? Another square. A smaller square this time. Okay, so the next step is to take this whole thing and flip it over. So now all of these pieces are on the bottom and the top is just flat and smooth. And we're going to do the exact same thing that we just did. So, take each of those corners and fold it right in. This one's a little harder to see because the creases aren't as strong, but that's okay. We can fold in 1. Now fold in 2. And fold in 3. And fold in 4. Okay, not perfect, but close enough. Okay, so now we have that same thing where we've got our little flaps sticking up in the air. And on the other side, we've got these little kind of pockets. What are we gonna do with those? Well, with the side with all the triangle pointies facing up, the ones that we just folded, we're going to take this whole thing and fold it in half. Like that, and crease. And I like to actually open it back up and then do it the other way. So from top to bottom and then from side to side. What we're doing is we're making another crease. And then open it back up. So now we have lots of little folds. Now when you turn this over, remember those pockets? Well, it turns out that's where our fingers are gonna go. And the fingers we're gonna use are our index fingers and our thumbs. And we're kinda gonna use the rest of our fingers a little bit. But what I want you to do is you put your index finger into one of these and your thumb into the other. See? And you pinch. And we're gonna do the same thing with the other side. Index finger into one side, thumb into the other, and pinch. So if you're holding it the same as me, your fingers should be inside like so. And I kind of just have these guys wiggling around down at the bottom. And here's the cool part. We're gonna gently push our fingers and thumbs together, and there you go. You made a fortune teller. Look at that. Beautiful. And the way it works is you open it one way, close it, open it the other way, close it. Open this way, close it, open this way, close it. Froggy mouth, close. Smiley face, close. Froggy mouth, close. Smiley face, close. Great. Okay, so now what do we do with this? Well, I'll tell you. We're gonna open it back up just a little bit, and all of the triangle side we're gonna put down. So we're looking at our kind of finger cubby holes right now. And this is where you get to be creative. You can decorate your little fortune teller to look like anything you want. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do a really simple one today just to show you how it works. But then I want you to get creative, and I would love it if you would share photos with me if you do go ahead and make these, because I would love to see your creations. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my red crayon, and on one of these little finger flaps, I'm going to write the word red. R-E-D. See that? There we go. Let's put the red away. And next up, green. I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did, only this time, what do you think I'm gonna write? That's right, green. G-R-E-E-N. There you go, we've got red and green. Next up, blue. Here we go. B-L-U-E. Blue. Red, green, blue. And last but not least, purple. P-U-R-P-L-E. Purple. Okay, there you go. So you've got red, green, blue, purple. Okay, now on the other side, we're turning this over, and I'm just gonna pick a different color for this part so that we can tell the difference. I'm gonna use, let's see how this orange turns up. I'm going to put a different number on each of these little triangles. You see how each big triangle has kind of two little triangles on it? Well, each of those gets a different number, like this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There you go. Now, we're gonna open up these little triangles, and look, we have that same thing where we've got two little triangle sides on each one of these flaps. And this is where we're going to use our pen or pencil, because we can write smaller with the fine tip. So, what I like to do first is draw a line right down the middle of each of these so I can see where each triangle is. It's just helpful for the next part if you can see how much space you have to write in. And you can do whatever designs you want. You can do all sorts of pretty shapes. I like to do outlines on everything just because it's fun. Okay, there we go. Now that we've got all of our sections separated, it's time to start writing our positive affirmations, or our compliments, Or if you want, you can put fortunes in there. But I like to do happy, uplifting ones. So let's think of some happy things. Like, I have a dog. So for mine, I'm going to say, I love Pepper. That's my dog, Pepper. And then, how about, I just had some popcorn. Popcorn was really good. Popcorn is delicious. How about this one? I am smart. Because everybody that is watching this video right now is very smart. I'm also going to do one that says, I am loved. Because you are. No matter who you are who's watching this, somebody loves you. And maybe that person is me. On this one, I'm going to say, I love butterflies. And then on this one, I'm going to say, candy is yummy. Of course, in moderation. And on this one, I'm going to say, I look great today. And on this one, I'm going to say, everything is going to be okay. So there you go. You can see all of the little positive affirmations and happy thoughts and compliments. Now you can make this about someone else. If you want to make one for your parents, you can say you instead of I. You can put whatever you want in here, but I thought it might be nice because it's a little scary right now and there's a lot of things happening that are very confusing. And if you're having a tough day, it might be nice to have these reminders of simple little things that might make you smile. And those can be whatever you want them to be. So let's fold this back up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to fold it in half again. Remember, we did this earlier. Only now it's all pretty. We're going to stick our fingers on each of these little flap holes. And over here, on the other two. And then press together. And there we go. Voila! So here's how it works. Pick a color. And whoever is picking the color will point or say the color. So let's say they said red. So we're going to spell out the word red. There's 3 letters. Ready? R, E, D. So I'm opening and closing it in different directions each time. And now you can see that there's only 4 numbers showing. So now it's time to pick one of those numbers. I'm going to pick 8. 8 is right here. So with my fortune teller in the same position, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, we ended on the same one again. This time I'm going to pick 3. 1, 2, 3. And you can do this as many times as you want. I usually do it about twice. And now it's time to pick a number, the final time. And I'm just going to pick number 6. And what is my fortune? So I open it up and I look on the same side as number 6. Candy is yummy. You know what? It is. So there you have it. That's how you make a fortune teller. And you can make your fortune teller say whatever you want, but I do think that now's a great time to put happy thoughts. So go make your own, send me photos. I would love to see them. Share your creations online. You can hashtag Cara's Quarantine Corner, I guess. I don't know. So there you have it. It's a fortune teller. I love making these, and remember that scrap of paper that we had earlier, the leftover piece? What I like to do is take this last little scrap and make an even smaller fortune teller. So I literally will like take it and fold it and do the entire thing again, and then cut off this piece and then make a little teeny tiny one. And then I'll make smaller and smaller and smaller ones. So see how small you can get yours. I hope you are staying happy. I hope you're staying safe. I hope you're listening to your parents or your family or your teachers or whomever it is that is giving you guidance right now. And I hope that you are finding ways to make yourself smile every day, because that's very important. So I love you guys, and I hope that you are doing all of the aforementioned things. And if you'd like to offer any suggestions of something that you'd like to see me do, I have a lot of craft supplies here, so I think we're going to do this more frequently. I had a good response to the last one, so alright guys, we'll be back soon with who knows what. I don't think they're all going to be kid friendly, so I will let you guys know as I post them. But today was. Alright guys, stay safe.